Hello there, lovely people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. I'll be doing a couple of episodes tonight, and one's going to be a list, other one's going to be a full-on review, like individual review. As you can see, a sample in front of me. I don't have the full bottle. I'm sorry, but this was a sample I think sent to me by Fragrance BD. I could be wrong, but they're the only ones who are authorized distributors of this fragrance in Bangladesh called Rogue Perfumery. So today we have Rostracto, I think, and I reviewed few fragrances, all thanks to my friends and also Fragrance BD. I never really purchased anything from this house because this fragrance house is kind of like very strong, and they use a lot of like elements or ingredients which are usually not used in regular perfumery, like oak moss or something like animalic tones. So they use a lot of these. Okay, so this is a house that is free from, I think, IFRA regulation. I think so, I could be wrong. And Manuel Cross, I think, is the owner and perfumer. So I think I'm saying the name right, maybe it could be wrong. Rostracto by Rogue. And this one, I'm sorry, once again, don't have a full presentation, but here the sample, you can see the juice color looks like rosy, kind of like a champagne, like a, I think it reminds me of rosé, Hogarden rosé, if you know that beautiful Belgian beer. Very sweet, rosy, sweet, kind of like a very much like a juice. That's the kind of a fragrance, and I sprayed it, and it's a rose based perfume. Okay, so I think this was the release of 2022, and I wish you could see the full presentation. The bottle looks really nice. The juice color looks nicer, more attractive on a full packaging. So if I can tell you from Fragrantica notes breakdown, like according to them, it's this. Okay, sorry, I have to. Yep, rose oil, cedar, balsam fir, benzoin, musk, and artemisia. So here, when they use these notes like rose oil or balsam fir or benzoin or musk, these actually are not like the synthetic ones they use in designer fragrances, and these are pretty much like those kind of mask or those kind of rose. This is going to be love or hate kind of a proposition. So I have it on the paper. I can smell it. I don't need to respray this because okay, anyway, I'll respray it for the review. I've been testing this for some time, but I just used it only once on my skin because for me, I'm not a very big fan of rose fragrances because I live in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is a country, it's always hot and humid except December and January. That's the time we pull off some of our um, heavy fragrances, darker perfumes. This one, I think, is a very much winter based fragrance, like winter oriented, cold weather specially kind of fragrance, and very specific people who love rose. And even if you love rose, like you like essential oils, diffusers, and that stuff, even then it can come off as a little bit animalic or challenging. Okay, I'm just giving you fair warning because when you blind by these kind of fragrances, you later realize that these fragrances perhaps is bit much. Okay, this is what I feel personally. I'll never wear this in Bangladesh because it's so hot, but if let's say I am in a cold country or something like very cold weather, like it snows and stuff, then I will pull it off. So when I spray this, on the paper, at first it smells very beautiful. It's like a jammy rose, definitely one of those yummy kind of like a delight, like a dessert kind of a rose. That's something edible. I absolutely love the opening first blast is beautiful. The rose is so attractive, and I cannot say it's just for feminine because rose is a feminine floral note, but I can tell you, like, if you like the rose based fragrance, this is one of the best opening in a rose based perfume. I just absolutely love it. So beautiful, but very quickly it starts showing its other characters. Okay, and characters, what I mean, I'm not trying to mock it or anything, but it starts getting dark. I detect something animalic in this. Forget about the notes breakdown. Let me tell you what it smells like. It smells like, at first, the first spray smells like, oh, very delicate Turkish delight, kind of like a rose fragrance. But as time progresses, you start seeing the green, and you start seeing like a kind of like oak moss green, and also I get almost like a animalic leather tone. And I don't mean leather as in like, oh, leather bags, like a Ralph Lauren bag or something. No, I start getting, I think of, imagine like this kind of hunter. Okay, he's hunting like in the nature out there. I know he has his crossbow and all those things, and he's riding his horse. And then, like, I don't want to go so graphic and visual, but imagine something animalic from a fresh, how to say, like, hunt. Let me try to put it in as safe as possible. And the smell, I previously reviewed fragrance that smells like war, bloodshed, or something like, you know, animalic, horses or mud. You know, there are a lot of weird fragrances they make. This one is not that weird, but I get that animalic tone with the rose. So that point, the rose is not so pretty anymore. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Many people like this. If you live in a colder country where you have to take your axe and then, you know, cut off the logs for, you know, the fire at home or fireplace, people like that who wear heavy clothing in Canada or somewhere, they will love this. But people in general who live in a warm condition, warm climate like Philippines, you know, my brothers there, or Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore. If you live here, this is gonna be not a go-to guy. Okay, why? Because this, I cannot see how people can pull this off in like dead of summer or something. You know, if it's like so hot and humid, this is gonna get very animalic on you. So let's say if you have some sort of colder weather, if you go there and it's like you're not sweating that much, and you know your surrounding temperature something like 15 degrees or below, then this is a beautiful fragrance. Okay, this one is not going to show off as so much spicy rose at first. It will develop slowly, but if you let it develop in summertime, it will develop very quickly animalic. Okay, so this is animalic rose to my nose, and the rose is pretty, but the rest of the stuff is very daring. I have respect for this, but I would never wear this. I would never buy a bottle of this because this kind of rose, man. I had Aramis calligraphy rose. That one was a jammy rose, but I swear I could wear that over this. You know, that is a very challenging fragrance anyway. But this is a complex fragrance. This is the house. You try some of the other fragrances like Rogue Perfumery, like they had some of the ones they use like a fully green notes. I love those. Those one can be pulled off in summer, but this one right here is a beastly performer. 10 for performance, man. This stuff lasts on the paper like 3 days. Okay, so that good. So longevity and projection is beautiful. The complexity of this fragrance, originality, very original fragrance. It doesn't seem like a clone of anything. It has a spice about it as well. There's a kick of spice, green spiciness, kind of like a leathery, like an animal leather, kind of like a skin. That kind of a tone is fresh. Okay, that not processed leather, or not like a, how to say, what's the other leather, the artificial leather, suede leather. This is what doesn't smell like suede leather or boot. It smells like straight up an animal. So it's a good thing, it's a bad thing for some people. There are good side and bad side, but honestly speaking, for me, it's a pass. Okay, with all due respect, it's a good fragrance. It's a good fragrance, no doubt. It's a complex perfume, but this is for people who love artisanal perfumery, who like niche fragrance style. This is for them. Okay, this is still not for me. Maybe in future I'll like it. So overall, my like assessment on this one, I have full respect. I'll give it 8 out of 10 for respect, but I cannot wear this. Okay, because all the things that I told you. But get a sample like this, then you'll see. So this is called Rostracto by Rogue Perfumery, strictly for winter, strictly for rose lovers and people who can wear animalic perfume. Thanks for watching. Time to move on to the list. Take care.